You're listening to the Running Up the Score podcast.
Joe Douglas. We talked about this last week, about the Jets clown show. The Jets have hired their new GM, and I think it was a very good hire. Joe Douglas.
Except the fact that they had to beg him for it.
Well, just the funny thing is, last week when we were talking about it, you basically came out and said, the Jets literally have to go up to Adam Gase and say, who are you friends with? That's a quote out of your mouth. Well, guess what? They found a friend of Adam Gase.
They had to.
Joe Douglas, he worked with Adam Gase with the 2015 Bears. He spent 16 years in the personnel department as a scout with the Ravens and then one with Chicago. The Eagles hired him in 2016. The Jets, under McCagnon's tenure, went 24-40. And the last three GM coach duos for the Jets, Rex Ryan and John Idzik, Todd Bowles and McCagnon, and Gase and McCagnon, did not know each other before they worked together, and in all cases, there was friction between the coach and the GM that hindered the team. So, this is a spot where, as you said, they needed a friend. They found a friend, and you know what? It's a good friend. It's a pretty good hire. I think the Jets right now are on an upswing. And I think right now their biggest holes, and I'm not even going to say their biggest holes, but they're the spots that they need to help. Wide receiver and offensive line. They could probably use a little help on the defensive line. Once you find out what's going to happen with Leonard Williams, he's still technically, I think he's on his rookie contract, right?
Who?
Leonard Williams?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a guy that you have to figure out what's going to happen with him. You have to figure out if you're going to sign him or not. I think, as I said, I think they're on an upswing. You have a very good coach in there. You just brought in a very good GM. You have a very, very good young quarterback, a great running back. It's just, this is what you want. I think they found their, stuff to build off of.
Do I look worried? I'm not.
I'm
not worried about the New York Jets. I'll be honest. I'm very confident in them going forward.
I'm more confident in the Jets than I am in the Giants.
Of course.
In the New York area.
Right now, yeah. But we'll see. Obviously it's a long time to come. The New York Giants haven't even, we haven't even seen a sample size of their future quarterback. We've seen a sample size of Sam Darnold and what he can do. And
that sample size is pretty good.
No, yeah, it's been very impressive.
Yeah.
And I'll be one to tell you straight up that the New York Jets are doing it right now, and obviously this is a stepping process. No team's going to go from last place to championship overnight. So for the New York Jets, I think it's a great hire. Like he said, obviously you can't have turmoil between the GM and the head coach. I still think it's pretty awkward when you're coming in and your head coach has basically had the GM position and now he lost it to you, and again we'll see how it all pans out. Again, like you said,
talked it out though.
They
talked it out.
No, of course.
Like,
and
listen,
who's got the last say on everything? I absolutely know that's been all talked and worked out, and that's what the meetings were all about.
But I'm mainly saying they told Gase listen, you're gonna act as the GM right now, but once we find a guy. Yeah, that's not your job anymore.
The responsibilities go right over him and your coach's team, of course. The New York Jets are doing it right. I think they have a good head on their shoulders, as a whole. These players that they have in there have a good head on their shoulders.
You've been listening to the Running Up the Score podcast. For more Running Up the Score, go follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at RUTS Sports.